Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with CircWorks, and it's Friday. The weekend's just begun, and M&M's chocolate candies are part of the fun. Remember that old jingle from the 80s? It is Fan Art Friday, and today I am going to work on Batgirl. And this is the kind of the newest, the current incarnation of Batgirl, which I really dig. And a while back, this was something. It kind of became sort of kind of went viral on the internet before the comic went out because they introduced this new Batgirl costume, and it was really cool because it kind of looks like something she could kind of actually, put together with stuff she had, and it still, it still looked like a superhero costume, and so it kind of took off, and everyone was doing their own renditions of it, and I wanted to do one myself, but I guess I never got around to it, so I'm getting around to it today. So, and also I went to the comic book store and I bought some Batgirl comics. I bought a few before, but then I went, and so this is kind of the newest version of Batgirl. It's kind of it's the artwork. I love the artwork. It's great. It's this artist. Her name's Babs Tarr, and she just got some great like action scenes, and her expressions and everything are. Let me see if I can get anything in here. I don't know. I just love it. It's just right up my alley as far as, this is more like a teen book, but, I like the kids stuff and everything. It's almost like a Veronica Mars meets like a Batgirl. It's kind of, but, it's in, more modern times and everything, which is, usually what everything I'm into usually takes place in the 80s or the 70s, but no, I kind of really dig this book, and I'm not... I don't buy a lot of like mainstream comics or anything, and I always say just because I just don't like what they're doing, but that's not totally true because I really don't, for the most part, I don't know what they're doing, because I'll go in a comic book store and I just don't know what to get, it's like there's just all this stuff to look at, and what's good, what do I like, and I know there's people usually at work there that could tell you, but they don't always know your particular sensibilities or whatever, but so this one, it was, like I said, it kind of went viral, so I was able to, I kind of had an idea what it was and everything, and it looked interesting, so I went ahead and picked up the first issue. It's not the first issue because this run started, like what was it, issue 35, I think. But yeah, I enjoy it, and I also enjoy it because it's fun. It's not, and that's a big criticism I have with like a lot of DC stuff, especially like the movies and stuff, is that to me, they just take the fun out of superheroes, and that's why every new thing that comes out for this Batman versus Superman thing, I am just not excited about at all. The Aquaman, it's like when I saw that picture of the new Aquaman, I was like, yeah, that's pretty much what I expected them to do, because it's, they hired the guy that plays like the Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones, and which I'm sure that guy could probably portray Aquaman anyway. I'm sure he's a great actor and everything, but I knew that they were gonna basically make him like Khal Drogo, and that's what he looked like. He did not look like Aquaman to me. And I know there's been different versions of Aquaman. There's the the one with the harpoon arm but I don't know. I don't know. It's just the Wonder Woman, no, from what I can tell, there's really no color in her costume. There's just like, let's just suck all the fun out of superhero movies, which I didn't mind with, I love the Dark Knight series. I've probably talked about this before a million times. I'm sure other people have kind of mentioned the same concerns. I know a lot of people, if that's your thing, that's cool too. It just, it's not for me, but yeah, I mean, I love the Dark Knight series because, Batman is a dark character. Not every character has to be like that. Like, I was just talking to some people. It was, Gazbot, I had mentioned it too. because he and if you don't know who these people are, they're like, usually, because I don't know how people find this video. Maybe you're a Batgirl fan and you just happen to stumble upon it. You don't know who I'm talking about. But so I've done this thing called the 100 Days of Making Comics, and there's a bunch of people doing it, and Gazbot's one of those guys. But he's like a big Power Ranger fan, I guess. So they released that new kind of Power Rangers fan film, and everyone's going gaga over it. But it's like, to me, it's like, I don't know, it just seems such like just the thing to do, such the easy thing to do is let's take something and make it dark, and that's going to make it so much better. But, not everything needs to be. And I like dark story. I mean, there's, a lot of movies and stuff. I like horror movies and I like all kinds of stuff, but I don't know, superheroes, for whatever reason, I think they should be fun, for the most part. I mean, and it depends on the character. Some characters lend themselves more to that than others, but yeah. But I think Batgirl is definitely, even though she's, part of the Batman universe, and that's kind of what I like about it, because she's not Batman, she's got the Bat motif and everything, and they even kind of mentioned that in like the issue I just read. She's like, because I think it was Black Canary who's also in the show. She was, kind of like, because it deals like, it has to do a lot with like social media and stuff like that, and how she's kind of, making a name for herself and kind of being famous on social media for being Batgirl and everything. And Black Canary is kind of like, that's, this isn't, that's not what a hero's being about or whatever. And, and she's like, look, Batman, he can hide out in the shadows. I'm not Batman, I'm kind of going to do what I want and everything. So I think that's kind of cool, because I mean, if it doesn't make any sense to have a Batgirl if she's like Batman, it doesn't make sense to have, a Robin or a Nightwing if they're like Batman. So but I've kind of always, I think I've always been sort of a Batgirl fan too, just because, when I was growing up, I would watch reruns of the '66 Batman with Adam West and Burt Ward and all that, and it was like a big deal when Batgirl would show up, because it would just, and you'd know like right away, because the intro to the TV show, they'd have a little extra, because they would have kind of the little animated intro, with the na 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 Batman, all that stuff, and the pow bang and all that. And and going back to fun, I mean, that was a fun show, but it's not, it's not that I like it. It's not, I mean, I kind of prefer that one. I kind of prefer more darker Batman, but it's a fun take, and it's fun to watch and everything. And I guess the other argument is that you can have all that. I mean, we've already seen the fun, Christopher Reeve Superman. So maybe, and that's not going to go away. So we've got that. So maybe a different generation might need dark, I'm going to kill you, Superman, and destroy all of Metropolis and not help people Superman. Maybe people like that. But anyway, so yeah, when Batgirl would show up, because they'd have, at the end, they have this little clip of the animation of the Bat Cycle and her just kind of going across the screen, and I'm like, all right, it's a Batgirl episode. And I don't know, that's kind of why I've always kind of liked Batgirl. So, and I had like I don't know if I had the Mego of Batgirl or not. I know I had Batman and everything. It might have been my cousin. She may have had, she would get like the girl ones, like Batgirl and stuff. And I had a friend, I think I talked about this before. I had a friend that, if you don't know what Megos are, they're like the old superhero dolls that they had, both like Marvel and DC characters and everything. But I had another friend when growing up that was a girl, and she had a Thor doll, and she insists that Thor was a girl because, and now she is a girl, but back then she wasn't. But she would insist that Thor was a girl because he had long hair. And I'm like, no, I've seen the comics. I know Thor is not a girl. And, I guess those dolls weren't anatomically correct, so that wasn't much proof. But yeah, like those the Adam West series finally was this. I think this past December, Christmas time, they were finally released, and I guess it just took a long time because there was a lot of rights issues and things like that. I don't know if it's the music or the actors or like so it took a long time. So, which is the case with a lot of things that that haven't been brought out on videotape. It's usually some kind of a music rights issue or something like that, which I don't know how that worked because I had bought as a gift, I bought my dad, like, he likes old serials and stuff, so he's a fan of like Green Hornet, and he liked, he liked the 66 Batman and stuff too. So there was a 66 Batman comic where he met the Green Hornet and everything. And I think was it written by Kevin Smith? No, I think it was written by like his partner on the podcast or whatever. But the artwork is pretty cool. It was kind of just a neat book. And but I guess there was a character, I forgot who he was. He was like a minor villain, but for whatever reason they couldn't use his likeness, so they had to like put a weird mask on him and stuff. It was whatever the villain was from the time that the episode where Green Hornet and Kato were actually on it. So, but yeah, it's just weird how stuff like that works, because you think if they're worried about likenesses, the ones that would be hard to get are like the Cesar Romero, like Joker and stuff like that, because those were like the popular villains. But no, they were fine with that, but it was somebody else. Yeah. But yeah, it's weird how that stuff works. Because sometimes, sometimes I know like Star Wars, I don't, I'm pretty sure George Lucas or now Disney, they can do whatever they want in the likeness of Mark Hamill or Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, all those people, and they have absolutely no say over it, and probably don't even get any kind of a royalty, which is kind of weird because I know, like, I've got friends that are voiceover actors, and anytime they make a doll or anything that has a voice in it, like the ones you like squeeze and it'll talk or whatever, they get a paycheck for each one of those that are sold, which is a nice gig if you can get one of those things. So, but but I guess with actors, I don't know. It just seems like, I think for the most part they can use your likenesses for whatever they want. So, but yeah, I do really dig this costume. It's just got so many cool little aspects about it. This is one I think I might want to color. I don't know if I'll color it today or maybe do it in a separate video, and I got to see if I have the right colors, because it's kind of a purple type look, and I don't know if I've got very many good purples in my Copic markers. But I just had a birthday recently, so I got some birthday money. I wonder if I should invest in some more markers, or maybe, like, I haven't run out of any yet. I think I got a yellow that might be getting low, but maybe a refill or something. They're just so darn expensive. I was lucky enough that I've got a big set, and I got it for free because of the game studio I used to work at. They wanted us to work on some like concept drawings and stuff, so they bought a set, and like I was the only one using them. And then when I got laid off from that game company, they were just sitting there, and I talked to my old boss. I'm like, "You want to sell those to me?" Figuring, I could get a good deal on them. And he's like, "You know what? Just take them." I don't think he knew how much they were worth, even though he paid for them, And they had kind of gone up too, I think, since then, because now they're, some of those Copic markers are like $8 a piece. That's insane. But anyway, so it's weird. Like I've been, anytime I work at like these game companies, they just usually either go under or they have to cut back, and I get laid off. But I always end up getting something. Like my whole computer setup was from another game company, it was like brand new computers and you know new Wacom tablet and everything, and like the big giant Pro one and everything, and you know the I guess it was, you know, it's just, the most of these companies are like startups, and the the second wave of like funding never came, and there was like they were in court about it and all kinds of stuff, and I don't know whatever actually ever happened, but like the owner of that company, he just called me recently about wanting me to work on some new stuff that he's got going on, and yeah, I don't know if I have the time. Just so busy with other stuff. It's like, you know what they say, when it rains it pours. When you got tons of work, people want to give you more, but when you don't have any, it's hard to find. But anyway, yeah, my whole, basically all the computer setup and everything that I use now, my monitors, all that stuff, um, were kind of given to me because, you know, they had bought that stuff and the funding didn't get through, and the, you know, the boss was cool. He was like, you know what, you know, and I think I think I may have worked an extra week or something that I might not have got paid for or whatever, but they, you know, let us all keep our computer equipment, so that was kind of cool, you know. So, but it sucks being laid off, and that's why sometimes it's just, if you can do it, sometimes it's better to try to make your own way, you know, because then at least it's your fault if you're not, you know, making money, I guess. It's like, despite even having a full-time job like that, and the game companies that I work with, specifically the first one, I mean, it was just a great company. I mean, I would definitely work for them again if they, you know, if they started picking back up and all that stuff, just because it's just like such a great environment. Of course, things have changed over there. They've, you know, some of the owners have left, and it's different, probably a different structure over there. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but yeah, I mean, it was just awesome. It was like probably not as cool as like a Google, but you know, they kind of followed that same, you know, work environment. Like, you know, they had like a soda machine there with free energy drinks. Man, I drank a lot of energy drinks there. You know, that's probably not the best thing to do. But yeah, we'd go on like company field trips to go play laser tag, and just, you know, when the company was really doing good, they bought everyone iPads, and just the people there are just awesome. And I keep in touch with some of them still, but not as much as I should. Although today, later, it's what's cool is I'm actually going to meet with. So I live, you know, I live in Arizona, in sort of the Phoenix metropolitan area, but I'm more west. I'm in a town called Surprise, which is pretty much as west as you can get before civilization kind of ends. But so, and most of the creative stuff, you know, the ad agencies and all that, they're either downtown or in the East Valley or whatever. So at a time, like some of the people that, you know, on the West Side that were creatives, we created this thing called West Side Creatives, and you know, it went for a while, and then it kind of went away as people just got different jobs or whatever, or whatever, or moved away, or all that stuff. But every once in a while we'll meet up again, and you know, kind of, you know, reconnect and all that stuff. So I got an invite to go to you know, one of these meetups today, so that should be fun. You know, I'm looking forward to it, and see old friends, and because you gotta get out. You know, I mean, as artists, we tend to just stay and, you know, indoors and lock ourselves inside, and I'm way guilty of that, but I'm trying and trying, even as busy as I am, you know, because I've got kids, and I've got a girlfriend, and I want to go see my girlfriend, hang out with my kids, and do all that stuff. So, I mean, that stuff's a given. I mean, I always have to, you know, I always want to find time to do that type of stuff. Um, but but it's fun to just, I mean, it's good just to make time to, because you need that social interaction, you know. So it's always good when I get a chance to do that. And like at a wedding not too long, I probably talked about this on another video, but so I got to, you know, kind of took a weekend off there and got to see my old friend who got married and everything, and then because it was in Vegas, he's gonna have a reception out here. He's like part owner of this restaurant, so like a barbecue restaurant, and they're like really good barbecue. So I'm looking forward to that. But they just changed the date on that, so I don't know. Now it's like on a Monday instead of this Sunday, which might be difficult to go to because it's like way on the other side of town. But that, and then on my birthday, my girlfriend took me to this place I had never even heard of, but it was like really really cool. It was like this old warehouse, and I posted some pictures on Instagram, and you know some people were asking what it was like. Jay Ferguson, awesome airbrush artist, who wanted to know what those pictures were because they're really cool looking, you know, pictures. And this place was just, it's like something I just wasn't expecting to find, you know. It's like downtown Phoenix, but I just had never really heard of it. But it's called the Deuce, and it's like this old huge warehouse that's been converted into this sort of bar hangout place, and just the decor and everything they've got. It's like it's very eclectic. They've taken all kinds of different I don't know what some people would consider junk, or more, I guess antiques is more like the word for it. Like they would have like an old, really old like refrigerator, and they would use it as a, because when you walk in, it's almost like a store. Like they'll sell stuff they had like, they're not like Converse, but they look like them. What are they called? There was something, the shoes they wore on the Sandlot. It was like the PC Flyers or whatever, which I haven't really seen those anywhere, but they were selling those, and they're selling T-shirts and stuff. But like, they would convert an old refrigerator into a shelf for, you know, to put T-shirts in, and they just had all kinds of crazy stuff. Old cash registers and gas tanks, and they have a big like a, right in the middle, not in the middle, but towards the back, they've got an actual old boxing ring, and that was cool. No one actually boxing in it, but they probably do. I would imagine they might have some sort of fights or something, do something with it. And they've got like a little malt shop and a couple little bars and an outdoor patio area, and like just all kinds of crazy stuff. Real like old TVs from like the 50s, and so it was just really cool. I had a blast, you know, and the food and the drinks were good and everything. So I would definitely go back there. I'm sure it's something a lot of people here in Arizona have heard about, like, but I just never heard of it. So, but yeah. So, but besides that, so I've got this thing tonight, and then hopefully I'll have some time to get my get some work done on my comic, which I have. I've got to do a lot of work on this other comic that I'm doing. It's a client comic, but I'm hoping to make some good progress on this weekend, because you know, last weekend because of my birthday, and the weekend before that because of this wedding, I didn't get a lot done on the weekend. I'm not really too stressed, but I want to try to make a lot of progress on this other comic so then I can put more time into my comic, you know. So, yeah, so her cape is kind of, it's got like these little buttons, and it's just, I don't know, it's very tactile, I guess, is probably the word I'm looking for, where it's just, you know, got all these different features and little zippers and things, and it's not garish or anything, like, you know, it's not like, you know, I guess I hate to pick on like Liefeld and stuff like that because he gets picked on enough, but it doesn't have a lot of accoutrement that's like serves like no purpose at all, you know. But you know, crazy pouches and things. Well, I guess pouches can serve purposes, so I guess that's probably a little unfair, but you know, how many pouches do you need? I mean, Batman can put everything he wants in a utility belt, so I mean, how much more do you need than that? Yeah, I'm digging this one so far, so. All right, so I just went to I just went to check how much time had passed. Looked at my phone, and right as I did, it shut off on me. Which, if you've been watching these, you will know that that's a pretty much a normal occurrence for these things. But what happened this time, I thought I deleted the last video I did for the Beyond 100 Days of Making Comics. But I guess it was still on there for some reason. So I went back and deleted that because what I'm hoping I won't happen is I want to get this thing finished before want to get this thing finished before the time runs out, because then what's going to happen if the time runs out again, that means like there's no space on my phone and I have to upload the video portion I already have and then delete it off my phone and start over again. So I don't want to have to do that. But so I'm trying to think how long my last video was, and like the one that I deleted, because obviously there was enough space for that on the phone. And so I have that about that much time to finish this. So we'll see. But I'm pretty, I'm getting closer to being done. I mean, it's mostly outline. It's just filling in blacks, and then I'm going to go back around and outline her. And like I said, this one I think would look good in color. I'm probably not going to do it this time, but I might do it on another video. So sometimes it helps to break it out, because a lot of people don't want to sit through big, long videos. I was thinking of drawing this one on camera. I don't do a lot of the drawing on the camera, probably because that's the stage that you tend to mess up a lot at. But this one went pretty smoothly. I should have maybe made it like a three-parter or something. Just draw one and then. So I forgot exactly what I was talking about. I think I was talking about was I talking about the creative meetup thing that I'm going to tonight? I don't remember. Let's see. I was probably talking about just actually getting back to my comic Young and the Dead. That's been cool. I got to ink like a page and a half. Hopefully do some more this weekend. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done by Phoenix Comic Con in May. Probably not, which I'm bummed out, because that was my goal, but then stuff just started falling in my lap, and I gotta pay the bills and everything, and so I just you don't want to. I mean, I don't have a huge. It's weird because I don't have like a huge following or people that are knocking down my door to get this next issue of this comic, but there have been people that have expressed interest, and for whatever reason, you don't want to let them down, even though it might just be a few people. So we'll see. But I also have to design some new prints and things like that. My Circwork stuff. I've got some cool ideas and things that I want to do. So hopefully I'll get a chance to do those. I have another sort of product that I want to introduce as well, but it's something I haven't really done yet. So it involves sewing. Sorry about that. That's my I don't know if you can hear that. Yes, I do. I still have a landline because that number is on all my business cards and stuff. But usually people that call that number, I would say 99% of them are people trying to sell me stuff, because the answer, and I also have an answer machine. That's how old school I am. Ooh, somebody's actually leaving some sort of message. But usually it's just it's it just hangs up because they're telemarketers or whatever. So they don't, and telemarketers typically don't leave messages. So I get tons of calls, but very few messages. But so so after this, I'll have to go check that message and see what that's about. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's not too loud, but anyway. All right, so she's mostly, you know, mostly filled in. I don't know if you can see any of. She's got these little black stripes on the sides. I don't know if this stripe you'd be able to see from this angle or not, but I'm gonna add it anyway. Just a little bit, a little hint of it. So. I like drawing these real thin little strands of hair. You don't want to get too crazy with it, or else it'll, that's the one thing when you're drawing hair, and I'm not that great at it. I mean, I could definitely improve on my, especially hairstyle. Hairstyles are hard for me, man. Especially like modern ones. I just don't. I need to pay more attention to people's hair, because I always, anytime I have to do a hairstyle, especially if I'm trying to do something, fashionable, I guess, I always have to look at reference and stuff. Except for like, I'm really good at drawing old, like shaggy 70s hair on kids, like long shaggy 70s hair, because I do a lot on my comic book. But other than that, it's like, especially women's hair, it's just, long flowing hair is easy. I've done that plenty of times, but like real stylish cuts and things like that, it's that's something I need to work on. But and there's plenty of tips on drawing hair and stuff on the internet, but the main thing is a lot of people that are maybe new or beginning, they try to draw like every single strand and stuff like that, but really what you want to do is like get each, like more like a lock, like the different locks of hair, or like the big clumps, and kind of use that. How do I explain that? I talk and do all this stuff on these things, but it's like I'm not the best teacher, because I know how to do things, but it's hard for me to articulate exactly to other people how to do that. But there's so many people that can do that a lot better than me. But yeah, if you need help drawing hair, there's some very good tutorials on it. Some that I've watched, because like I said, it's not my strong point. I think she's got button. Oh, I forgot to. Yeah, she does. She's got little buttons on her gloves too. I don't know if you could see it on this side. Probably not. A little shadow in there. After I ink this in, I'm gonna have to check my Copic markers. I was watching a video. What was it? It's like, I don't know, on YouTube, like sometimes I recommended videos, and I forgot what it was. It was just, but I stumbled upon one because I was watching some illustrator or somebody, comic book artist, do some kind of Copic drawing, or Copic, however you pronounce it. And that's one thing I found with this video, was that, because I never knew how to pronounce it. And from what I understood, it doesn't really matter. Like, I guess in North America we pronounce it Copics, which I usually go to Copic, but I don't, whatever. But we say Copics. But I guess in like Australia and in Europe, they pronounce it Copic, like I do. And then in Japan, oh boy, I don't remember exactly, but it's something like Kopika or something like that. And that's where they originate from. So it was real interesting because it was just some guy who was talking to the Copic or Copic representative at the San Diego Comic Con and asking them questions, and they were showing off some of their products and things like that. And they were kind of telling how it originated, which, or at least outside of Japan, somebody had gone on a trip to Japan. I think it was a teacher or something, and discovered these markers and like, oh, we got to bring these to, bring these outside, to the West and everything. So that's kind of what they did, and because really they are. I mean, I've used a lot of markers, and there's a lot of other good markers out there, but these Copic markers are so expensive, but they really are good. I mean, but now they got that one. It's by a different brand, but they're called Chameleons, and they look like they're really good for mixing. Maybe that's what I should spend my birthday money on. I want to try those things out. Well, what do you know? It shut off on me again, and I had to upload everything to the computer. I mean, I just can't get through one of these videos. I don't know what to do. my my dad gave me loaned something to me, which he probably will never ask for it back, but this Nikon camera, because I had asked for a camera for Christmas, and he's like, you know what, I got one that I'm not really using, so you can use it, and if I need to borrow it back, I will. But so, I mean, it's an older version, but it's at the time it was, top of the line and everything, and I was hoping it would take video, and I could film, I could film some of my videos with that, because the iPhone is just, it's not, for whatever reason, there's just not enough space on it, despite the fact that I have the 32 gig one. And I don't know what it is. I don't have any music on here or not. Like, I had an iPhone 4, and it seemed like I never ran out of space on that thing. I had tons of stuff. I had tons of music and everything. And then I upgraded to the 5, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. But so I thought I could use this other thing, but then I typed the model into YouTube to see if I could find a tutorial video and everything, because I didn't have the instructions. And the guy was saying, "Oh yeah, it's a great camera." Unfortunately, you really can't do much video with it. I think it'll take like 5 minutes of video, and it's really hard to get to the video section. You got to flip through the little dial thing or whatever. But I'm like, well, that's not going to help me. So I don't know. If you guys have any camera recommends, I don't want to spend a ton of money, but I want something that I can, shoot these videos with. Let me know. So I'm getting tired of having to stop this stupid thing and, just to upload. And I thought because I didn't, usually if it shuts off, it'll like make a little beep and it'll shut off. This time it didn't do that. So I had just, for whatever reason, I looked up at my camera to see probably how much time had gone by. And I noticed it was like displaying 00, which means it had stopped. And I'm like, I probably lost all of that second half of that video. But then I kind of rewatched it, and actually I didn't miss hardly anything on it, so that's good. So I didn't lose anything really, but I don't know. So right now I'm just kind of doing what I usually do, where I kind of fill in some darker outlines along the border of the character. So sometimes inside too, like sometimes I'll just do the outline around everything that's kind of exposed on the edge. So that means I normally wouldn't go in here with the body, but I thought I should pop that out a little more. Gotta get this part of the cape here. And if I had the forethought, I could just make some of these lines. Ooh, that's pretty thick. I could make some of these lines thicker the first time around, but I don't know. She's getting close to being wrapped up. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. Maybe I'll do her batarang in black, probably. I don't know. I can't remember if she actually uses a batarang or not. I suppose she does. I can't. I'd have to flip black through the comics. But in my drawing, she does anyway. So, as I, on the last Fan Art Friday, excuse me, I did the Iron Giant and actually sold that, and the money that I got for that went to Peter Palmiotti's Catastrophe, which is a GoFundMe page he set up because he kind of needs to find a new place because I guess he's not allowed to have his cats there and everything at the place he's at. So so we're trying to kind of help him out, and because he's like kind of needs the money for the down payment sooner rather than later. And although his work's picking up for him, it's gonna be a little while, So we're trying to help him out because he's helped all of us guys out and gals, just promoting our stuff and everything. So I still have some other prints, and I sold some sketch cards and things like that. But if there's, any of the stuff that you might want, with this one in particular, like I said, I want to go back and color this one. So I don't know if this one's for sale yet. And I'm kind of digging it, so I might want to keep it for myself. Because like I said, I kind of dig Batgirl. So unless somebody really wants it and wants to make a really nice donation, then we can do that. But I've got other stuff too. I've still got, let's see what I got. I got some other, where are they? Oh, like you can look through my channels. There's still a bunch of the stuff that I still have, but like here's Edward Scissorhands, if you're into Edward Scissorhands, Doctor Who, the current Doctor Who, the 12th Doctor, I think. And then a bunch of sketch cards I still have. That's the Ovion from Battlestar Galactica, Jane from Firefly, Heat Miser, and I think Cold Miser's in here somewhere from Rankin and Bass, although I don't know where it went. He's in there somewhere. I got some more Battlestar, Cylon, some Star Wars, Princess Leia, more Rankin and Bass, all that kind of stuff. Got a, let's see, Hellboy and Gollum. So the sketch cards, I was saying like, I don't know, a minimum donation, minimum of, I'd say around 20, get a sketch card, and, if you make a bigger one, like somebody made a pretty decent donation on one of them, so I threw another one in there. So, I just basically, I want to help my friend out. So if you'd like to get some artwork and help somebody out, then just, let me know. Leave me a message. Let's see, what else? So she's almost done. She does have, let's see. Let me find a reference here, what her little collar looks like. Where did I go? I got all these Batgirl comics. Oh, here, so, oh wait, here's one. So I can kind of see there. Um, this is one thing that kind of bothered me a bit. I mean, it's not like a new thing or anything, but these variant covers. As I got to the comic book store, and I'm trying to remember what the last Batgirl issue I had was. So I flipped through them a little bit and everything, but they've got each one of these issues. They've got like 4 different covers, and I'm like, I can tell by the cover which one I've bought, but I can't, I mean, I can tell if they were all the same cover, I would know by looking at the cover. But when they've got 5 or 6 different covers, I'm like, well, do I have this one or not? And then even with like the new one, I must have got distracted or something. So some of it's my fault. But here, so I got this one. Oh, Batgirl 39, and then I bought another one that was, another issue or something like this. I was, picking up whatever, trying to figure it. I found this one. I'm like, oh, maybe that's 38. So, and somehow I picked up another 39, which I don't really care about variant covers. I mean, sure, I'd like to get the cover that looks the best, I guess, but like the first one I kind of got late. This was some kind of variant cover, and I didn't really care for this one because it doesn't really fit the comic. She's not wearing the new costume or anything, and she's like a vampire or whatever. So, but that was the only one still available because it was the first issue of this new thing. But yeah, so now I got 2 of the same comic books, which I don't think any unless some of these variants are rare or something. I mean, I'm buying these to read. I don't think they're ever going to be worth anything because I mean it's a fairly big title with a lot of publicity around it and a lot of buzz. So it sells. The more comic book sells, the less it's going to be worth. It's just it's basic economics. So this is really, for me, there's no reason to buy all these other issues. I mean all these variant covers and things. So I kind of got a little pissed off because I thought I was going to get to read 3 new comics and I only had 2, and then I paid for one that I already had. So a little bummed out about that, but I guess I just got to be more careful next time I go shopping for comics. I wonder if they do that on purpose. To confuse people, or I'm sure it's more the collectors that they're after, because I guess some people will buy all those different variants, but I don't care. It's like I don't know, like, and the weird thing is, like, I'm not interested in like selling. Like, I've got old comics, and I don't know, I haven't really looked through them all to see if any are worth anything, but I don't know, they're worth something to me, just as, the stuff I grew up with and everything. So I'm not, it's like I'm not really interested in parting with my old comics. I don't know. They're just part of my childhood and everything. So I'm not going to sell them anyway, I don't think, but anyway, so I think that'll probably do it for Batgirl. I think I've kind of wrapped her up. Maybe a little dark here where the hair is. Yeah, but I think I do probably want to color her in and everything. So, maybe I should put a little. Well, I'm going to leave well enough alone for now. I was going to put a shadow down here, but I don't want to conflict with the black on these boots. I may add it in later if I decide to or not. But let me just sign my name here. And so that'll do it for this week. That is Batgirl from the new Batgirl comic. And I don't know, you may want to check it out. I enjoy it. It's pretty fun. But yeah, besides that, oh, I did forget something. I know you're probably not supposed to go back and add things after you sign your name, but I gotta do her pupil. Okay, there you go. All right, so Batgirl. This has been Fan Art Friday. I'm Scott with Circworks, And like I said, if you're interested in picking up some artwork and donating to a good cause, let me know. And just let me know if any of those old sketch cards or anything, if you're interested in them, and I will get those out to you. And besides that, have a great weekend, and hopefully I will too. And maybe next time we'll color this up, or we'll do something else, or I don't know. But that's it for today. That is all.